It's not just Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus who are busy this offseason. Kevin Warren had everyone caught off guard this past Friday night when the Bears announced via Greg Hines of Chicago Business dropped that the Bears are looking to stay in the city of Chicago and shifting their focus away from Arlington Heights. Last year, almost a year to the date, the Bears bought a 325 plus acre property in Arlington Heights, formerly Arlington Racetrack, and now they're sticking to a new direction of staying in the city and building a new stadium right outside their current one at Soldier Field. Could this be a smokescreen to get more money from Arlington Heights to solidify moving out there? I'm going to break that all down for you guys today. But hello, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Brody, and as always, thank you for tuning in. Before I break down this recent news about the Bears' shift in focus of new stadium location, if you're happy with all of the moves that this front office is making, because honestly, I don't think anyone's really used to this team being this aggressive about bettering the franchise in a quick period like they have, make sure to hit the like button on this video to show your support and comment where you want the Bears' next stadium to be. And I am giving away a Montez Sweat autograph mini helmet. All you need to do is like this video, hit the subscribe button with notifications, and comment where you want the Chicago Bears' next location to be. Winner will be announced next Friday. Now let's start off with this whole timeline. The Bears last year on February 15, 2023 bought the Arlington Racetrack location in Arlington Heights, Illinois. It is 326 acres of what could have been legit the most state-of-the-art football village, stadium, whatever you want to call it, in the nation. I mean, look at these renderings. They're literally going to build a city within Arlington Heights. It would have condos, malls, restaurants, bars, parking, transportation, highways. I mean, you name it, this place had it all. And of course, a massive stadium. The land was bought by the McCaskey family for $197.2 million, which, just to put that into perspective, that's a little less than 3% of their total net worth. Pennies to them. Wow. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I was pumped about this. I mean, you have a train via the Metro that gets you to Arlington Racetrack literally outside of the front door, along with two major highways. O'Hare and Midway are not far from there at all. It's much bigger. They'd be able to build this state-of-the-art arena, along with it also not being far from the city. I mean, I take the train line, just so if anyone's ever seen me on the Metro train line, is that from downtown to Arlington Racetrack on an express is 30 minutes. I mean, transportation is a huge issue alone for the Chicago Bears right now with Soldier Field. If you've ever been there, it's not a lot of fun. But again, the bars, the restaurants, the condos, the offices that would be there, just everything in one spot at an easy access location in the burbs. It just made sense for the Chicago Bears. But Kevin Warren had other ideas, and a lot of feedback from the city of Arlington Heights, I think, impacted that. Residents either are completely split on the topic. Either they're like, yes, bring them here, bring all the business, it's all good. The other half is like, no, don't congest the area, don't raise my taxes, don't do this, don't do that. Just, it is very split from everyone that I've ever talked to while out in downtown Arlington Heights. Fantastic place, by the way. Can't talk enough good things about it. Also, it was a money thing with the city. The city wasn't giving enough. The Bears wanted more. It's just crazy. Which, if you're from Arlington Heights, put in the comments like what you think of the situation, because I'm curious to hear from more residents' perspective on it, because it really did seem like either you were full for it or you just were completely against it. So let's talk about where Kevin Warren and why he might have switched his thought process. Warren was a part of the Vikings front office and was a very large part of when they were building the now US Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis, which is voted one of the best venues for any sort of event in the United States. It is right in the downtown, great transportation system that they designed, tons of parking, bars, restaurants, everything that you want. What Arlington Heights would have been, he did in downtown Minneapolis. And this started really kicking into gear when Warren met with the city of Chicago's mayor, Brandon Johnson, and his board to talk about keeping the Bears here and how both sides can win. So the plan now is to stay in the same exact district as where Soldier Field is currently. That means maybe tearing down Soldier Field, making it a parking lot, and then putting the new Soldier Field, or whatever they're going to call it, right next to it, because Soldier Field, unfortunately, is not a historic landmark anymore because of the renovations that happened back in the early 2000s. The status was taken away, which I was very upset about because it is cool. I mean, like, it is a great place to go. It's just there's a lot of little things about it that add up and make it a giant problem. But like, look at the skyline, look at the look. I mean, like, it speaks when you think of Bears games, like in primetime games, and they do that screenshot of like just the skyline in the background, or when you guys are there, depending on where you're sitting in the stadium, you're just like, wow, this is just an incredible location to watch my favorite team, good or bad. Like, it is just, it's incredible. And my opinion on it is that they absolutely have to get every little thing right. Ever been to Soldier Field? Transportation is a nightmare. You have to walk 20 minutes to the closest brown line. That's not the greatest outline, in my opinion. I mean, nothing wrong with the brown line. I personally don't take it from what I have to do. But like, overall, it goes through the loop. 20 minutes to get to that outline. The closest restaurant is like a 15 to 20 minute walk. Concessions at Soldier Field is a nightmare. You literally miss a quarter to get a beer and a hot dog. Like, you miss a quarter of the game because of the fact that you just want to get some food and a beer. Also, the bathrooms just aren't great. Just overall, the stadium is just too small for how big of a market the Chicago Bears are. And if I'm Kevin Warren, I'm adding 20,000 seats. I am making it gigantic. I'm seeing if I can build onto the lake for this stadium, like what they were going to do when the Bears, or when the Olympics were going to come to Chicago. Everything just has to go right. There has to be bars and restaurants. You have to, get South Loop's, life a little bit higher. Overall, just Soldier Field's a great place to go watch a game, minus everything else that you have to do. If you're just watching it from that perspective, it is great. And it needs a retractable roof. Chicago will never host a Super Bowl as long as the Bears have an open roof. I want Chicago to host that Super Bowl, have that stadium. Also, Chicago Bear weather, it's not fun to watch a game when it's negative 20 degrees. I'm a diehard fan and I like to go do it, but at the end of the day, it's not fun. So overall, I hope that Kevin Warren takes this opportunity and does it right and doesn't just put Arlington Heights out of the picture. You have to still keep that in the running, as you can do a complete clean slate there. But put your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. And thank you as always for tuning this episode of Just Another Chicago. My name is Nick Brody, and as always, bear down, baby.